Hi everyone, and welcome to Critical Bitches. I'm Jen from Jen's Little Corner. My co-host up the top there is Mama Atheist Amanda herself. Hi Amanda.
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here.
And our guest for this week is Donna. And
Hey.
Tell us about yourself, Donna.
Okay. I guess career-wise, so I've been nursing for like 7 years now, and was in A&E for 3 years. I left a couple of years ago after having kids because A&E plus tiny babies that wake up really early is not much fun. So yeah, and aside from that, I've done one other stream with Jen, and sort of part of the atheist community on Twitter. Haven't done much on YouTube, so yeah.
Oh, you've been on a stream before though.
I have.
You
I
have
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you had enough sleep up there, Amanda? Because I know I haven't.
I'm, getting there. I'm trying to catch up throughout the whole week because my week's been crazy. You know that. So
Oh yeah, you
I'm
had
still working on
a crazy week. 100 subs in a week. That is absolutely magical, and congratulations.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Couldn't have done it without everybody behind me, so I appreciate everybody.
Now, I will try and keep track of the chat tonight. We've got Atheist Pastor in there. We've got Critical Cripple. We've always have Critical Cripple, and we can blame
Math Pig.
We can blame Math Pig because he's there. We've got Orla. Hi, Orla, and Bo, Julie,
Raven, Orla.
Yeah, Raven. I said Orla. Yeah, we got Dave in there twice because Dave screwed up when he joined the chat and joined it with his wrong account. So he out-woofed himself. It was brilliant.
Dave does subscribe to me. So.
And we've got the Daily Atheist himself.
Chris too. So.
Yep. So we got a good little house there, offering us
comments,
our loyal telling us what's going wrong. Our loyal fans, yeah. all the usual sorts. So hi everyone.
Chris says no one puts Amanda in a corner. He's talking to you, Jen.
I know.
Talking to you.
So what we're planning on covering this week with Donna is weird emergency room stuff. And as you can see, I've put up a little cartoon of emergency room cartoon where the patient's going, "Ew, is that the only colour bandage you have?" Now, has that ever happened, Donna? Have you ever had anyone complain about the dressings they had because it wasn't the right colour?
No, I haven't had dressings, but I have had people break bones, moan about being put in plaster casts, moan about boots. And you're like, really, man? Like, why are you here?
Do you want to get better?
Yeah, I know, right? Do you really have to put my wrist back into place? Well, kind of, if you want to use it, like.
Do you ever have to cut someone out of clothes that they didn't want cut?
Oh, dude, don't. These people come in like, we think you're having a heart attack. Please don't ruin my shirt. Are you serious?
Because you want to be buried in it? Is that why?
Yeah, like I need to put defib pads on you. Do you get the seriousness of this, or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
My cousin had when she was pregnant, she had an anaphylactic fit.
Oh gosh.
And ended up being put in hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And she had nails that we used to call talons because they were legitimately long and incredibly strong. And she scratched a couple of the nurses when she was sort of semi-lucid. So they cut her nails. And when she woke up, she was pissed off as all hell. Yeah, because they cut her nails.
So when it comes to nails too, I don't know how much you guys know or how much people who are watching know, but you have like pulse oximeters. So they read the oxygen in your blood. Yeah. You can't do that with nail varnish on. The amount of people that used to get really do you have to? Like, yeah, really do.
And so much money on
it cost me $100. I bet you've had that.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, I'm sorry. What do you want? Reimbursement from the NHS? I don't. It's not going to happen. Oh yeah, you do very strange people.
Yeah, I can imagine that some of it's really weird. Well, what's the weirdest thing? I mean, I know I've got a picture that's something similar to the weirdest thing because we were talking earlier, but what's the weirdest thing you've ever had?
So you want the orifice chat?
Oh yeah, the orifice chat. We have to have the orifice.
Start right in on that, huh?
Yeah, come on.
Hey, come on! I'm in here. You know this is going to happen.
So, okay.
I know it wasn't exactly this, but I know there's a story similar. So I'm going to put this picture up, and people are going to look at it and go, "What the hell? Why would somebody do that?"
I know. Okay, so this is
So
the
that
story
is
about
a gun.
Yeah, no, it's not a gun. It's not that bad.
No, it wasn't a gun.
I live in England. It's not easy to get hold of guns.
Not there. Here it is.
Yeah, it's too true, my friend. That's another story for another time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I had a guy who was a repeat offender, actually. So the first time he came in, he sat in the waiting room, and we just did in the NHS on our systems. You just get like I was triaging, so I just get like a little. It said foreign body, fine, whatever. Like it could be anything, you know. Kids get pennies up their nose, and you know whatever. Yeah. He came in and like really sheepishly, his wife. His wife was in the waiting room. This is even weirder. So and he explained to me that he had put a shampoo bottle up his anus.
Oh, so we've actually got a picture that's actually closer to the look of that, haven't we? Because we've got...
Yeah.
I'll bring that one up.
Well, at least he admitted to actually putting it up there instead of the old tried and true "I fell on it" line, you know?
Yeah.
He was weirdly smiley about it. The dude was proud. Like it was.
But I shoved up my ass.
Yeah, I mean, no kink shaming, but a little bit odd, you know?
Very odd. Well, it's like this particular picture we were discussing before. What exactly is it? I mean, it kind of looks like a fly spray bottle or something, but I don't know. And whatever it is, why would you put it up there in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe a flask of some sort. I don't know.
Maybe it's a thermos and they were trying to keep their coffee warm.
I have no idea. It looks like a spray bottle.
We got a couple of more people in the chat. We've got Arden. Hi, Arden. And Easeism. Sorry.
Easeism. Hi,
Yeah, I screwed that. Sorry, Easeism. We've got Badger. So, yeah, I'm sure Badger will have stuff to say in the chat. He usually does. We got Hissy in there now. So, hi, Hissy.
So, my mom is a nurse and was having, talking to her about it this morning, all the things that she went through. And she was telling me about this story where this guy walked in and he had hurt his hand, and he had his work gloves on. Mm-hmm. So she went to go take the gloves off and took one of the fingers. It was still in there. Oh! She was really new, so she didn't know what to do. So she just like shoved the glove back on and was like, "Here, just go that way.
Let's stick it back on."
Yeah.
Oh, that must be so scary.
Yeah, it was very scary.
The guy with the shampoo bottle, though, there is more, okay?
So I better go back to that picture then, because people will enjoy it. So
this dude, obviously, we then had to try and get said bottle out, okay?
Yeah.
I had to chaperone the doctor because, they have to have someone there when it's things of a personal nature. And so this dude's obviously like crouched. We're looking. It's literally all the way up there, man. I can't see it. The doctor's got like forceps, and she's like having a look, trying to get it. And all I can hear is like the crunch of plastic up this dude's ass.
Oh my god!
I know. The worst part was the dude. She couldn't get it out.
Did it still have shampoo in it? Because it would have.
We don't know. We couldn't get it out. He had to have it surgically removed.
Surgically removed. Oh my god. Oh,
okay,
that's
so
true.
I didn't the stuff, and the dude ended up with a stoma because he put a bottle up
his ass. Oh, that's true. Yeah, permanent stoma, or did he heal?
No, he reverted. He got it reversed, and he did it again because I saw this guy again, and again we couldn't get it out.
Again?
He did it again.
What an idiot.
If he had been an American, he wouldn't have done it again because the bills would have been astronomical.
Yeah.
Would have been worth it.
Abusing the NHS for your
We got a
kinks.
couple of good comments. Arden said, "These people are they struggling financially? I'd happily buy them a toy that works much better."
You know, there is a baby Jesus butt plug, by the way.
We needed sexy twink Jesus one, don't we? We could sell that as merch. And Bo said, "Common mistake thinking WD-40 is a lubricant." And I think that's in reference to the picture.
Dave says toys work much better. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. Definitely.
If used properly. So another orifice story. We had a dude get so excited with his anal beads that actually the like, I don't know what you call it, like the handle broke.
Yeah.
Anal beads floating around
inside
his mouth.
Dear.
That X-ray was fun.
One got so excited with their anal beads. That's a conversation starter.
Yeah. What did you do on the weekend? Well, I broke my anal beads. I had a trip to the A&E. For anyone who's American or Australian, because we don't use it, A&E is an accident and emergency.
Yeah.
So it's the same as the emergency room in Australia or US.
ED too.
Yeah, ED. Yeah, emergency department. Yeah.
Yeah.
The main reason I used A&E in the title was because it fitted so much better.
Yeah, definitely. We love A&E.
A&E.
But
A&E.
Yeah, there was lots of that. Oh my god.
That Hissy just said at least he tried to use the proper equipment.
Too true.
He was just having too much fun and didn't check the integrity of his equipment first. That's all.
That's it. You know.
I just have horror stories. Like the first one, when I asked my mother, just like weird or scary stories, she told me about this one guy. Now this was back. I have dog fur everywhere. This was back in the early 70s because she graduated from nursing school in '69. So they weren't open 24 hours a day, the emergency rooms here, for at least not in small town Connecticut. So, you would have to go and like knock on a door outside in the cold and wait if there was something really wrong. So this one guy had gotten hair transplants, like plugs.
Yeah.
Except they had fucked up and they had punctured his skull.
Oh my god!
Actually, with one of the plugs, and he didn't realize he had taken the bandage off when he had gotten home, and it just started spurting.
Oh!
So he drove to the emergency room, plugging a hole in his head. He gets there, and it's closed. So he's just like covered in blood, holding this hole in his skull and knocking on the door.
How scary!
Yeah. So
that's dreadful.
That was probably her craziest story. I can tell you a really dark one, but maybe you don't want to hear that one.
A lot of it, A&E is a lot of it's dark. It's fine.
Yes, Bullinator, that is a candy cane up that person's butt. I thought we'd go Christmassy theme, even though we're well past Christmas.
Why not?
I can't imagine why anyone would want to use a candy cane. I mean, they get sticky. I mean,
why would you go that way? Like,
yeah,
why the hook way out? Just weird.
They were hoping they could get a better thing at the prostate. I don't know.
I don't know. Actually,
it's a bit hard to tell. It's a bit hard to tell from the X-ray whose pelvis it is, but.
Oh god, I love it.
Yeah, I suppose at least you could wait until the candy cane dissolved.
Would it though?
No,
wouldn't it?
I don't think it would. No, because it's not stomach acid, so it has no reason to dissolve.
Yeah, I guess.
It's hanging around up there.
Doesn't work that way. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if they were planning on getting hung from the Christmas tree or something.
So My mother says that the most terrifying work was always with kids, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
Especially with like dosaging and stuff, because she was never really good with math on the fly. So she actually had somebody that she kept, one of the aides that she made sure did all of the math just in case. Because she said there was one instance where a child was given the wrong dosage and went deaf for some reason. The meds. So, yeah.
Yeah, for kids, you have to do it by their weight rather than it being like a generic dose for adults. So it's a lot harder. So in the UK, we generally have like children EDs, rather than adult and children necessarily being together. But the ED that I worked in, we took walk-ins. So if someone walked in with their kids, we still had to deal with that. So we used to have lots of seizing kids because of temperatures and unfortunately one that died. And
the larger hospitals here whoops, I'm knocking my microphone. The larger hospital here all have separate adults and children's EDs. Smaller hospitals, no, it's just one ED, but it just depends on the size of the hospital, which I assume would be the same in the UK. If you've got a small hospital, you'd only just have the one ED anyway, because
that's it. So what happens is we just don't take ambulances that have children, so it's just people that walk through the door. So if there's anything really bad going on, they go to so we've got a major trauma centre close by, and they've got a whole kids hospital. So it's not just the ED, it's the whole hospital just for kids.
Yeah, that's what it's like in Hartford. I'm from Connecticut, so the major hospital in Hartford is right across the street from the Hartford Children's Hospital. I remember my son stayed there for a couple months after he was born. So.
Bless you.
I have a good emergency room story then about Angel.
So he's gonna love you for this.
He was really sick after he was born, and he had meconium aspiration, so they had to intubate him because he wasn't getting enough oxygen saturation, and the intubation messed up his lungs. So he couldn't take food orally for a long time. So I think he had a G tube until he was 8 months old. So he was in the hospital for the first 3 months. I couldn't take him home until May. I remember bringing him home. He was home maybe a couple of weeks, and I gotten up in the morning and I was changing him, and he just yanked the G tube out.
Oh, no.
So here I am, no sleep at all. And I've got this infant, this already sick infant with his fucking hole into his stomach.
Oh my God.
The balloon that holds it in, that's why there was a leak in it. So there was no way to even put it back. I wasn't going to put it back in. So I ran up to the hospital down the street, but they didn't have a replacement G-tube. So I had to go all the way down to Manchester, an hour away that was scary as fuck. Like, nothing has ever been more scary than that. Like,
so having G-tube, it's like straight through the stomach wall, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what you get. So we call that a peg. It's just we've got NG tubes to the nose. It's different terminology. Oh, bless you.
So scary. The stomach.
Jeez.
So we've talked about orifices with people like the butts, but what about things that kids or adults have swallowed?
Oh God, kids are worse than adults, definitely.
Kids are worse than adults,
always. Pennies, like a whole Lego brick, man. Like, I was like, that's gonna.
I've heard of the kids shoving Lego bricks up their nose. So
no, I had a kid swallow a Lego brick.
How?
Like a proper What the hell are you doing?
Hey, at least chew it up first.
Just
about.
But yeah, like, do you guys like I had one kid with a 50p coin. You probably don't, but that's like that big. Like, it was like massive right here. I was like, what? Why? What are you doing?
You have to like swallow water with it, like a pill, to get it down that far? Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Like, what the hell? And the problem is, like, the further down it is, there's not really a lot you can do. No,
I'm guessing that one was something that's probably been maybe swallowed. I don't know. The weird picture, we couldn't figure out what it is. I'm thinking it might be a hair clip, butterfly hair clip, and it's a kid.
Yeah, potentially, actually.
Yeah. So
Or just a whole load of pennies.
a whole load of pennies, yeah.
They're hiding their pennies. I don't know. Looking at it,
Chris
trying to
said
work it out.
that his kid put a plastic ball bearing up her nose and gleefully pronounced it's up my nose.
Yeah. Kids are nosy as well. What is it?
Yeah, look how clever I am, says the child. Her bullinator said of the previous picture, brings a new meaning to the word Candyman.
Oh.
Angel will oftentimes tell me stories about like stuff, like crazy shit he did when he was a kid, thinking that, you know, I won't be able to do anything about it now.
Yeah.
And he told me about how he used to swallow. We had those little pebbles, the shiny pebbles that you put in aquariums.
Mm-hmm.
He used to swallow one like once a week every time he went to see his friend, because he would go to his friend's house and he kept doing it for some reason for like a while. So I don't know.
Just for shits and giggles, like, why not?
Yeah.
My daughters are surprisingly good. They never swallowed anything stupid.
My kid's just an idiot, that's all. He was like proud of it. He was like, I got away with this shit. I'm like, you're lucky you didn't die, you dumbass.
I haven't got there yet. I'm sure it will be my turn with that sort of crap soon. My kids are too little.
Yeah.
I can remember as a kid panicking my mum because I don't know if Disprin's a thing that only we have in Australia, but it's a dissolvable aspirin that is designed so you can dissolve it in your mouth for kids.
Sure,
so
sure. Yeah, we've got stuff.
And I used to love the taste of it, and I managed to get hold of a packet and did a whole packet, and she absolutely panicked because.
Oh my god, Jen.
Yeah, because, you know, a 6 or 7 year old having a whole packet of Disprin is not great.
Not particularly.
I was fine, but yeah.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, kids as well. Accidental ODs for kids of like random crap.
Well, they think they're lollies. Or in the case of me, it tastes nice, so I want more.
Yeah, so like we used to get kids that would just sit and eat like poisonous berries. We'd be like, how many have they had? Their parents wouldn't know because, you know, they're just at the park. It's fine. You're not like judging anyone. But you ask the kid's like, oh, I had like 2 handfuls. Why? They're rank. Why are you eating them?
Chocolate laxatives.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a risky one, that. Because it looks like chocolate, it tastes like chocolate.
Yeah.
Why
not?
So, yeah, chocolate, but kids bad eat anything. So.
Bad chocolate. That's what it tastes like.
Like nasty Easter egg chocolate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really nasty Easter egg chocolate. What about adults though? Have you ever had an adult come in who'd swallowed something really stupid?
I don't think I have, you know. I'm trying to think.
Yet they'll put stuff up their asses. It's just...
Yeah. They like putting stuff in... They're not going to swallow it. They're going to shove it.
Yeah, they're not going to swallow it. They're going to shove it.
No, I don't think so. Although... this is a good one. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. I have to say, so some strange woman came in. She was talking to me. She was a dog walker, okay?
Yeah.
She's taking her dog for a walk. And she said, you know, I've been bitten by a dog. I was like, okay. Because, like, we'll give people tetanus and stuff just, you know, to cover them. But so I said, so what happened? Because you have to give some sort of a history. So she's walking a dog and the dog started fighting. This woman told me, she said, so I shoved my finger up the other dog's arse. What?
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 Why?
And it bit me.
The other dog?
I would bite you if you stuck your finger up my arse. I was like, okay. And like, obviously my face was like, what the fuck? And she was like, yeah, that stops dogs fighting. I was like, okay, pull your dog away. Like, I don't know. Your first reaction is to stick your finger up their arse.
Unlubed and everything too? Like,
yeah, just like, bang, get off my dog. Honestly, and apparently that is a thing. I was like, is that a thing? What is that?
Maybe they'd be watching too much South Park, you know, where they did the whole joke of what's his name? He's from Australia.
Oh,
well, he's dead now, but
Oh, Steve Irwin?
Steve Irwin with South Park did a thing of him where his whole thing was sticking his thumb up an animal's ass. So.
Yeah.
And maybe they thought it was a real thing. So shove a finger up its ass and it's going to work.
I don't know.
Bullinator has a story in the chat if you want to read it out, Amanda.
I found my dad's single razor blades. No, I didn't eat them, but I did find them quite pretty and decided to squeeze one in my hand repeatedly. I was 4. I still have a scar from it.
Oh my gosh. Savage.
Yeah. Well, we all do stupid things as kids. I mean, it's pretty obvious you're going to have things come into A&E with kids. I'd assume accidents with glue is quite common.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like even with adults, but yeah. I got glue.
Adults generally like fingers together.
Yeah.
Kids were just like.
Oh no. My mom was telling me the story about this guy who was using some type of glue and was putting lotion on, and he lotioned his balls, but it was the glue, so he glued his hand to his balls. And I have no idea how he screwed the two of them up.
That's amazing.
Did he confuse the glue for the KY, did he?
Something like, I think he just like ended up accidentally mixing some of the glue into the lotion somehow, but then was lotioning, why he was randomly lotioning his balls. I'm not going to question that, but that's how that story ended. Him walking into the ER with his hand, he was wearing sweatpants. So he was just like, had one hand right underneath.
But for the benefit of the chat, we were discussing what this thing is up this person's ass earlier. We think it might be a Buzz Lightyear, but I'd love to hear more from the chat about what you think it is, because
we can't figure it out.
It's obviously a toy.
Yeah. The more you say it, the more it's definitely Buzz Lightyear.
Definitely. It's the wings.
Well, again, why would they shove it up feet first?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It could also be a Voltron, I suppose, because the Voltrons looked similar.
Dave says it's Buzz.
It's a Buzz.
It definitely looks like Buzz.
Yeah, I think it looks like Buzz. Okay, what did Badger do? Here's a lovely scar from where I learned not to carve towards myself with a knife. Yeah, that's a good thing to learn. And another one where somebody whacked him in the face with a hockey stick. Now the question I have for you there, Badger, is what the hell did you do to get whacked in the face with a hockey stick, or were you just playing hockey?
Yeah, I might think the former, to be honest with you.
And Dave answered our question before by saying you people obviously haven't spent enough time trying to shove things up your ass.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I haven't lived.
That seems to be more of a male thing, I think. I don't know.
The shampoo bottle, we were like, is it Head and Shoulders or is it Tresemme? Because that's a really big difference. Like, if you've shoved Tresemme up there, I'm impressed.
Was it a pump top or was?
Well, this is I don't know. We didn't get that far. We were like,
oh, they did. You mightn't, but they did.
I think every crazy ER story is always going to devolve down the path of what was found shoved up whose ass. It was that picture of the gun, Jen. Did you put that up?
Yeah, I put the gun up before. That was we started with the gun actually. There it is. It's up again.
Crazy people. It's great.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Let's hope that gun was not loaded. It could have been a weird attempt at suicide.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
I mean, a really weird attempt, but
it would be really stupid and
potential.
And probably wouldn't kill them either.
No, okay, so let's have a discussion.
What, can you commit suicide by shoving a gun up your ass and pulling the trigger?
No.
Try it.
Something and Angel, have discussed, I'm not going to say at length, but the topic has come up.
Mm-hmm.
We're Star Wars fans, big Star Wars fans in my family. What happens if a Jedi mistakes their lightsaber for a dildo?
Death?
You're dead.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
like, you're gonna go through in half, no? Like,
but does it go off? And okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm done.
No, I mean, if they press the button, it does, doesn't it? If you press the button
to suicide by gun up twat just made me think of it. Never mind. I'm good.
No. I'm following you, Amanda. It's like, but they'd have to press the button. They'd have to actually turn it on, which, at that point, yeah, I'm guessing they're dead.
You think they would realize beforehand?
Yeah, well, you'd think people would realize shoving a gun up their ass was not a good plan. So, I'm sure there are Jedis out there who are desperate and stupid.
I'm quitting YouTube now. I'm done.
You started.
This is the peak.
Apparently, Badger was playing normal hockey, and somebody got him on the backswing. So.
Oh.
Yeah. He's just a duh.
And Bull, in regards to your merry-go-round story and getting hit by that, I walked behind a swing when I was young and got whacked in the head when the swing came backwards and ended up with 4 stitches in my head. So
that explains a lot, Jen.
I've had stitches in my head 3 times.
I'm just talking about early childhood head injury trauma. Makes sense now.
Yeah, by the time I was 12, I'd had stitches in my head 3 times.
That's a good.
I cut all the way through my lip here. They put 60 in because they brought a plastic surgeon in to do it great intricately all the way through the front end because it went all the way through.
Yeah.
So they put it on the side too. That was very painful. I was like 7. I hurt a lot.
Oh, savage.
Yeah. Like I could stick my tongue through my lip when it happened.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Anyway.
That sounds painful, Amanda.
It was horribly painful.
Well, okay, so what about things that surgeons have left behind? I mean, it's not necessarily. I'm sure you would have seen people come into A&E with pain and then only to discover that they'd had surgery before and something was left in.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that happens more than you think. Not necessarily.
But I imagine it would. I mean, if you're in the middle of the surgery, there are lots of people working at the table normally. It wouldn't be hard to lose track of whose job it was to take that particular clamp out. And lose track of it, especially if it was a smaller clamp and they're in a hurry to stitch the person back up. So I imagine it does happen. I mean, not in comparison to the number of operations doctors actually do, but given the number of operations done, I imagine it does happen quite often.
Yeah, I think normally more so in like emergency trauma situations because obviously you're really like elective surgeries. There's not an excuse. You shouldn't be leaving stuff inside.
Yeah, as Paul said, that's why they count them before and after. But even if they do, I mean, it is possible you can mess up. Somebody grabbed an extra clamp and you lost track of how many you used. So it's going to happen.
Yeah, the worst things that happen with surgeries is when they like open up the wrong side of someone and stuff like that.
I've had 9 orthopedic surgeries.
Oh wow!
And every time I remember them, especially when I had them in my knee, they would always write "no" in big letters on my other leg. That always scared the shit out of me. Like, why should you have to remember that? But I'm glad they did.
So we just do like in England, they do like loads of arrows, like it's this knee, not that one. Again, though, it's in like emergencies. I think the last few have happened in a trust that I work for, which is like over a couple of sites. It's been brain surgery and it's been emergencies where they've opened up the wrong side, which is obviously there's no excuse. You shouldn't be doing it, but it's never again like elective stuff generally. You would hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think as well with the stuff they're getting left in, it's not generally instruments anymore. A lot of the time it's like swabs and blood.
Yeah.
That stuff that obviously you can lose track of really easily.
Yeah. And it's not the stuff they count afterwards, it's the tools that they count afterwards as well. So
yeah. So they're supposed to count absolutely everything. So even the gauze. You're supposed to count every single bit of gauze. The scrub nurse is supposed to know how many bits of gauze have been used. Oh, yes.
And Bullinator, who had the wrong toe amputated?
Sorry, say again?
Oh, Bullinator saying somebody had the wrong toe amputated. And then Dave said he had to draw arrows on his own leg.
Oh my god.
At least it was just a toe, though. I mean, can you imagine having your whole leg amputated?
And it's the wrong one.
And it's the wrong one.
But I'm sure it has happened.
I'm
positive it
absolutely.
will have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these kind of accidents do happen when you have the amount of surgery going on in the world that happens now. It's going to have happened somewhere. So
yeah, like multiple lists in a day of people. It's going to get a bit.
yeah,
God,
I mean, there are literally hundreds upon thousands of surgeries done each day throughout the world. Someone's going to fuck up.
It's true, unfortunately.
Which is why you sign disclaimers.
Human factors, my friends, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My mom was telling me about this one guy that he kind of got off on medical procedures. So he would every couple months or so he'd show up with some feigning some illness just to get some IVs stuck in, and he would actually audibly be like, oh, when they would place the IV in, but they had to do it just to go through the procedure and do all the tests that he might need or whatever, but they knew every time that he was just there just to get touched by some nurses. So
yeah, welcome to our world. That's A&E a lot of the time. A&E is drugs, though.
I must admit, I much prefer the modern IVs because the flexibles compared to the old style. Because the first time I ever had an IV in, it was a non-flexible and it bent in my arm.
Ow!
Yeah, so they had to remove this thing that had bent because they put it up in the elbow and I'd moved and it bent.
Yeah.
And they had to remove that, and that was painful. And then they had to put another one in. They ended up putting the second one on the back of my hand so I wouldn't bend.
Yeah, gosh.
But yeah, I mean, all the modern ones are flexible.
Yeah. So I've never actually worked with non-flexible, only heard.
Yeah, the tubing for the new ones. It's not really new. They've been around a while.
Yeah, they have.
It's a catheter that they thread into there.
Right through the needle.
Very tight one. Yeah.
So
then they take the needle out that they used to get it in with, and they just leave it in. So,
Hey, speaking of catheters, at least they were IV catheters instead of him having her do a full cath every time. That'd be gross.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, they're never nice urinary catheters, but guys are much easier than girls, quite obviously. The more children you have, the more your anatomy does not look like a textbook. So sometimes with women, it's a bit like,
Yeah. It's quite painful too, to be honest with you. I remember having to get one. I was over one of the surgeries I had, one of the knee surgeries I had to spend the night, and I was completely immobilized, and so they ended up giving me a catheter, and that was fucking painful. So can't imagine wanting to get that done. So
no. Oh no. They apart from bless them, the only people that really want them are elderly people because they don't want to have to get up in the night for a pee. They're like, can't you just give me a catheter?
Fortunately, the only time I've ever had a catheter, I was not awake when it was put in. So.
Yeah.
So that's much more pleasant. It's still not fun to have taken out again, though.
No, but it's much better for getting it taken out than put in. Trust me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we won't go into the ins and outs of a catheter. No, no one wants to know that stuff.
No one wants to know about catheters. Hissy asked you a question. Donna, tell them about 111 and the people they send to A&E with blocked noses because they have difficulty breathing.
Okay, so have you guys heard of 111?
I haven't.
Okay, so in England, because the A&Es get kind of overwhelmed, and the GP practices also, we're just obviously overwhelmed because people go to doctors for nothingness because they can here.
Yeah.
So 111 is a telephone consultation you can have with someone, not necessarily a health professional. It's all tick boxes on a screen. So you'll say, I think I've got a chest infection, and they'll say, are you breathing? You're talking to them. So yeah. And they go through like loads of questions, just making sure you're not having a cardiac arrest, obviously.
Yeah.
So what it was meant to do was to free up. So they would say, like, you don't need to go to your GP till the morning. You can go to the pharmacy. You know, you don't have to go to A&E at 3 o'clock in the morning with your cough that you've had for 2 years. Like, there's no need for that. But the issue that we have is, obviously, lots of people self-diagnose with Google, or they ring up and they say the right things to be told that they need to see a doctor. Or also the system just sometimes flags for nothingness, you know, but if you had seen someone, you would know that. It's, you know, and it's not always people's faults. They're being told to go to A&E, so they're like, shit, I need to go, like, I'm going to go to A&E. But I've had someone turn up in A&E telling me that they'd hurt their leg. So 111 had told them they potentially had a blood clot and they need to go to A&E straight away. Fair enough. The woman had told them it was red, it was hot to touch. They're all normal symptoms of having a DVT. So like a deep vein thrombosis, so a clot. And she came in demanding. She was like, I've been told I have to see a doctor within an hour. We're like, well, it's a 5-hour wait. I'm really sorry. You're not going to see a doctor for 5 hours. And on looking at her leg, it wasn't red. It wasn't hot to touch. And when I prodded her calf, she had no pain. I was like, what's happened? She said, I fell. They asked me if it was red. It was red when I fell. I was like, are you being serious?
Oh my God.
Right, because you've got a clot. That's not the way this works.
Is it red now? Is it hot now?
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? You've been outside and now it's cold. Oh, right, okay. Do you have a heat on? I don't know. Yeah. Had people walk in and just demanding to see doctors. It was absolutely hilarious. Had someone come in saying, I choked on chicken 2 hours ago. Okay. Well, you're talking to me now. You're not choking. She was like, I got told by 111 I had to come to A&E. I was like, but you're talking and you're breathing. And it was like a 31-year-old at 2 a.m. I was like, why are you here? She's like, I'm going to wait to see the doctor. I was like, well, you've got like a 4-hour wait. You can wait if you really want to. Like,
now I really need to know about your story. How did a hospital lose your grandmother?
What? Let me see. What?
The hospital lost my grandmother. End of story.
Oh, mad.
And Hissy got sent to A&E because they thought she was having a stroke and she had a migraine.
Oh, Hissy, I know.
Oh, that's
I know. It's crazy.
With a stroke, you have to, you have to get in within a certain amount of time. You have to know when the stroke was and everything to get certain meds. And
so we have a system where we are that we put out like stroke calls and stuff. So it's simple. It's really difficult because obviously if there was a healthcare professional over the phone, you could ask someone to do these tests for themselves, and if they were honest with themselves, then they would know that it wasn't a stroke. But we can't get nurses in the hospitals, let alone on phones. So what can you do? It's difficult. But that's a whole different ball game. We get paid like, I don't know what it's like in America. I know in Oz your nurses get like double what we get.
Really?
And that's why, so that's why loads of British nurses, we qualify and loads of people fly over to Australia and set up shop for home. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I never realised that. We get a lot of foreign nurses in Australia, I think, because the pays are generally well. A lot of them end up working in aged healthcare, so in homes and stuff like that, because the conditions are better. You get your standard shifts. You're not going to get weird ass shifts all the time. You're dealing with people who aren't sick all the time as well, because the elderly, even though you've got to do a lot of extra work for them, aren't as hard as legitimately sick patients. I mean, some of them are sick.
My mother worked in she was a director at a nursing home, and she said one of the worst parts about that was the families and the way the families actually treated the people that they had in their homes, how they kind of just would dump them there, and and I don't know. She said that was really difficult for her. She would get a lot of people. They would like give the nurses their stuff.
Yeah.
they're dying and their family's being terrible, and they're just like, this is special to me, and you care about me and you're taking care of me. So in fact, one guy gave my mother a car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So my mother-in-law was not a nurse but a carer. So I don't know what your interpretation of that. We call them healthcare assistants, but she used to go out to people's homes. Yeah, so she used to go and like get this guy up every day and make him some breakfast and stuff like that. And he tried to give her £10,000. He had it under his mattress.
Wow.
Yeah. And but in England, it's really, really frowned upon. We're not allowed to accept gifts at all from patients.
My mother did that too. She was a visiting nurse. Sorry, Jen. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it's gifts within reason here, because my mum occasionally gives gifts to the nursing staff and stuff, but they're only little gifts. They're not.
Yeah, so like biscuits and stuff we can accept, but like if someone tried to give me something personally, I can't have it. It's for the ward, so like for everyone who works there.
Oh really? Oh well, no, they don't do that here. No, they can give gifts to the individual staff. Badgie's actually told his story, but Amanda's got one first.
No, I was just saying my mother did that visiting nursing where she would go to houses, and she would get. This thing, it was even worse, she said, when she did that, because the elderly patients would have houses full of stuff and just be like, please take this,
Yeah, take it.
She said one of the there was one of her patients, she had kept her and the patient's son had kept alive for a year, and she'd worked really a lot. Like she would go into her nursing, but then she would sit there and read with him, and she spent a lot of time, and she said that was one of the best parts when her patient died and the family wanted her as part of it, like wanted her to speak at the funeral, and she just felt like she was part of that family, and that connection was really important to her. So
that's just a lot of time that's palliative care. So I've gone from A&E to palliative care. Which is really rewarding in a completely different way. Like in A&E, you'd see before your eyes, like saving someone's life. But with palliative care, it's a lot more like that. It's more time with families, giving someone the best send off they can have. I think it's I don't know about where you guys are, but palliative care here is kind of dominated by Christianity. So all our hospices are like they're named after saints and.
Like that here too.
You'd be someone who's a bit more secular in that sort of environment is it's unusual actually. A lot of nurses that go into it have some sort of faith, but even though that Britain's really secular in itself, but when it comes down to stuff like that, it ends up being a lot more spiritual. But anyway, that's completely off the subject of A&E.
Badger said what they did was his grandmother had Alzheimer's. And they put her in a waiting room where she sat for 12 hours because she didn't want to disturb anyone.
Oh,
and they just forgot about her. They just forgot about her.
Oh, no. Oh, that's horrible.
And Bull went to a clinic for sinus trouble, and they sent him to the hospital for a spinal tap because they thought he had meningitis. So.
What?
Yeah, a bit of an overreaction, that one. Although I can understand that because meningitis is quite deadly. So
I know, but like for sinus trouble, what viral meningitis? It's a big jump, no?
Yeah.
My mom was telling me about this. This time there was
Dawn upset about Buzz Lightyear that someone has a very different definition of to infinity and beyond.
Oh god, so grim.
It is, but it's funny. Sorry, Amanda.
It's grim, so
it's very grim.
No, my mother was telling me this story about how. There was a decapitation. Actually, this man had, on a motorcycle had hit a bridge, and so they brought the body in, and they had moved it under a sheet, but they didn't notice that they had moved just the body. So they were rolling around this gurney with just the head on it under a sheet. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that extreme.
Yeah.
It was only for a couple minutes, but they were like, "Oh shit, there's a head on this gurney all by itself."
And that's why everyone who's worked in an ED has mild PTSD, because you see shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a
She was
motorcycle.
just like, "Oh, the decapitation story." Okay.
And you're like, what the fuck?
There was a motorcycle accident up around the corner from where we are, and the guy who came off his bike, he was wearing his leathers, but the way he came off, he skid across the road, and it tore the helmet off his head, tore through his leathers, tore all the skin off his face and off most of his body. And my one of my nieces was she doesn't live there now, but she lived in the house right up the road from where it happened. Her husband went and was first on the scene to it, and he had to tell her to go back because he didn't want her to see it, and there was nothing they could do for this guy, and he was still alive.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So by the time, I mean, because my niece came up and she's like, I know first aid, I can give him mouth to mouth, and he's going, he hasn't got a mouth anymore.
He got a mouth, yeah.
You can't give him mouth to mouth. He doesn't have one. He doesn't have a face. So yeah, pretty grim.
All you hope is that they could have given him like as much morphine as
the ambulance got there pretty quick, and I think they just dosed him up until he was basically comatose, and he did die, obviously, but it was.
Do you guys have a pain scale in England? How does that work for you guys?
So 0 is no pain at all, and 10's the worst pain imaginable. Is what we do. And then with kids, it's like the faces. So like a crying face to a happy face. But I mean, if you want to do it properly, you kind of have to say 0 is no pain at all. And one of the A&E consultants I work with taught me, he was like, you need to tell people what 10 actually is. He says, I say like being mauled by a bear. Because
I've heard getting a gunshot wound while in labor.
Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll have people there playing on their phones, and you'll ask them, and they'll be like, "Yes, a 9 out of 10."
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. I'm going to get one for you, dear.
What pain is. I mean, the worst pain I've ever had was with kidney stones. I had a really large kidney stone, and that was exceptionally painful.
They're grim.
And it took 14 hours for me to pass it, and there was exceptionally painful even with all the drugs in me that was trying to stop it. So it was not the most pleasant thing at all, and I still wouldn't call it a 10.
Yeah.
In the description, I said, no, I think this is about a 9 because you can give me drugs and I can actually sleep. I'm guessing if I'm at 10, you're going to give me drugs and I'm still not going to sleep.
Yeah.
So there's a difference.
I don't get that.
So
they come in for the good stuff, so they try their best.
Yeah, so I was thinking I was about an 8 or something with that. It was pretty intense.
Kidney stones are gross. Like always morphine for kidney stones. Someone's complaining and they know they've got a stone straight away. You're not going for like, here's some paracetamol. It's never going to do anything. It's grim.
Well,
my mum has said.
The second time I had one, the first thing they did was give me a suppository.
Yeah, so diclofenac, yeah?
Yeah. Because
so
it's the fastest way you'll absorb it, and they need to get you to relax so you can pass it. So that's what they do. They give you a suppository, and I think I'll do that to myself. Thank you very much. I really don't fancy somebody else shoving stuff up my ass.
You'll be surprised who does.
I went to A&E to get something shoved up my ass.
I had a lady, I don't know what stones, I think she had stones. And we do diclofenac just because you've got loads of blood vessels in your anus. So it absorbs much quicker than anything else for that sort of pain. And she just got her nails done. But she was like 40. Yeah. I was like, so I'll give you a glove and some lube and, you can, she was like, I've just got my nails done, love. I was like, right. So what are you saying?
You to shove it up
for her. I was like, you are too young, my friend. No, do it yourself. So wrong. But it's diclofenac's amazing though.
It is brilliant. It really helps as far as that goes. But yeah, and then they give you the morphine codeine tablets it was, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But codeine's really good because codeine makes me sleep anyway. So
Oh,
yeah, it's a side effect that I have from it, and which I don't object to.
No, especially not if you've got to be in a hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? But yeah, we I think unfortunately for us in the NHS again, lots of people come in looking for painkillers. Lots of people that really, really need them. Really need them. Don't get me wrong. But we used to have friends that used to come 5 times a week.
Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah. It's
suppose they're
lovely.
looking for
The
a
one
cheap
thing that Amy
fix.
taught me is not to judge. And I just used to think, oh my God, how sad is your life if you want to come and see us? Like, know us all by first names. And it's really sad,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I always have codeine in the house because the side effect I have if I get migraines, I use it because then I can go to sleep and sleep off the migraine, which is so much nicer than most of the other migraine drugs you can take. So it's a handy use, but I've always got it. So yeah, it's also handy if you get a cough. Codeine is brilliant with cough. Although last time I did that with a cold and then I had to go and see the doctor said, "What the hell did you do that? Because you've got no idea how bad your cough is now."
Yeah, too
but
true.
At least I'm not coughing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I'm not. People that the drug seekers, they really piss me off because I have chronic pain myself, and so it just makes everything so much harder for people that have to deal with actual pain and all the meds and doctors and stuff. It's having to deal with that because of what drug seekers do to the rest of it's pain in the ass. It's really awful.
I think that the problem is it's it's really sad. It is just really sad. Like these people, some of them are so young, and you just think, like, man, how have you got to this point? But yeah, I can totally see what you're saying because there's a lot of hoops to jump through to make sure that people aren't just coming for stuff. Yeah. I'm in a smaller hospital, so we used to know our regular attenders really, really well. So we knew the people that were going to see like pain consultants. We knew the people who were genuinely really, really struggling. But I think obviously in larger hospitals, that's really hard. But yeah, we had our regulars, and sometimes people. The joys of the NHS was sometimes people were just homeless. They're just hungry. So they'd come in telling us they had pain, but you'd give them some paracetamol, then they'd be fine, but they'd be hungry. So you give them like 3 sandwiches, and they just go. Again, not what we're there for, but A&E in Britain is just classed as a safe place. So lots of people would do stuff like that. People taking seizures to get a bed for the night. It used to happen all the time.
And yes, all our mental health is still health. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God, don't get me wrong, but A&E is not the place. It's not the place. No. I actually used to really not enjoy. Is that a bad thing to say? I used to like looking after people who are having problems, like mental problems, but it's loud, it's brash, it's busy all day, all night. It's just not conducive to someone being calm. It's a horrible place for people to come in crisis, but it's better than nowhere.
Well, I lived in Tucson, Arizona, and actually I went to school there too. And my roommate was a psychiatry major, and so she would tell me about they have a separate wing for people that are having mental health issues instead of going to. But the thing is, there are these lounge chairs. You know the chairs that they set up for when you get your chemo?
Yeah.
It's those all just in a row, and that's where they sit all night. Like they don't have beds or anything like that, even just like regular ER patients. They sit all of these, and some of them are, just having a rough time. Some of them are off their fucking nut.
Yeah.
But they're just stuck in these chairs all night. I thought that was horrifying.
Yeah.
So
In England, what we have, I can't speak for all of Britain, but I know like our services are really poor and really far and few between. And we would have people stay with us for weeks who are having like psychotic episodes, like full blown. I had a chap dancing around naked once around the apartment, you know, and he had no idea what he was doing. But if you went near him, he was a big chap, and he would get quite aggressive. I wasn't trained to look after people like that. That's the thing that I have an issue with the way that it runs in England, is that I had minimal training to look after people with mental health problems, and there are no beds. So people, you know, when people were getting beds, I'm down south, like as in like South Coast. They were going like 5-6 hours away from their families and away from anything they knew. You know, and that chap that I just spoke about, it would happen every winter. So there was obviously something that triggered him. It was always around December, January time, he would have these episodes. So we knew it was going to happen. So, but nothing, no foresight for that poor man to organise something so that we, you know, if it was to happen, then there was something there. If not, then great. You know, there's an extra bed you've already supplied in case of need.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, it's just, you know, you do your best, but when you've got someone who, you know, we've had people that have thrown computers at us, and it's yeah, like chairs. It's so sad because they have no idea what they're doing in that time. You know, a lot of the time it's people who are super low, suicidal, and lots of people having psychotic episodes. So they're not of sound mind. They have no idea what they're doing to you.
And these were like, they had, I mean, they had regular psych wards where they would go and stay for extended time. This was like the acute care. These were people that were about to hurt themselves or had hurt themselves, which I just felt like that was to display them. And it wasn't even like men in one room, women in the other. It was just all of them all together, all, you know. And I don't know, I just that thought of them all like that with the lights on all night and just people watching you to make sure you don't hurt yourselves or each other. It just, those poor people.
It makes me cry. It's horrendous.
Yeah. It really was.
And that's exactly what it is in A&E. So in Britain, unless you're like a danger to someone else, when you would get taken away by the police, which is even worse. If there's no mental health beds, you're stuck in a normal A&E department where there's, you know, well, ridiculous things going on. You know, car crashes coming in the middle of the night that could come past someone who's having suicidal ideation. And they're seeing all of that blood. They're seeing all of that stuff happening. Yeah,
that's just going to make it worse.
I don't know what the answer is, but I just more beds. But I mean, again, we have no nurses that want to work. It's so yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But it's in my experience. Being in A&E is never good for someone's mental health, especially if they're in crisis.
Yeah,
that's the struggle everywhere, though, isn't it? It's a balance of beds and stuff because you could overstaff an A&E and or emergency room, whatever, and you can guarantee that on the busy times that you're going to be able to cope. But then when you're not busy, what are all these staff members doing?
Yeah,
so it's
a really hard thing. So like in A&E here, generally early morning is the quiet time. And as the day goes on, it gets busier. And then you start slowing down a little bit for walk-ins come 3 o'clock in the morning. So like 3 o'clock in the morning to like 10 in the morning. That's the quieter period generally if you're having a normal day. And so it's really awkward shifts for people to try and have a life. As well, so there are twilights and stuff, but that's, I mean, no one wants to do that 5 days a week because then you don't have an evening, you don't see anyone. Nursing is just antisocial, and there's so many jobs people can do that aren't. And especially in this country, you can make a career out of nursing. You can do really well. You can earn lots of money if you want to. And I think what we have is this inclination of people who love nursing, and they just rise and rise and rise, but no one's now taking over the lower posts. And that's where
that's a money thing too, isn't it? Though, like you were saying before,
definitely.
that if you can earn better money overseas, well, why not go overseas and earn better money?
Exactly, it makes sense. And ED for us, so I don't know how it works for you guys, but you don't get paid any more for working in ED. I get paid exactly the same working on a palliative ward than I did working in ED, and the pace I can tell you is completely different.
Well,
the knowledge.
I know that the nurses who work in aged care get paid exactly the same as those who are working in the hospitals, which would include the ED. So, yeah, which is another reason why they choose it, because you're getting paid the same money and you're not working. Yeah. Why work the hard job if you don't have to, and you can work a more rewarding job, because for a lot of people it is more rewarding to.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, like, I would see people for, so I'm assuming you've probably heard of the 4-hour targets in Britain for A&E. So people get admitted, you've got your 4 hours, you've got to get out. So we would literally, you save someone from dying and then you wouldn't see them again. That would be it. Or like, I'd give people IVs and I'd never see them again because they'd be gone. So you always feel like you've done half a job. You didn't see anything through. Unless I worked in resus, so I'd have the most sick patients. They used to stay longer a lot of the time, and that was, overlooked because the wards wouldn't be able to handle having, like 7 patients and someone who's that dependent. So you've got a bit more there. But working in cubicles, I'd strap someone's leg up, I'd never see them again. It's and it gets hard on the soul in the end, because like you see these people in crisis and you see these horrendous things, and then you never see it through and you never know how they are, or you just see them again when they're in some sort of crisis again.
I mean, at least if you're on a ward, you have a chance of finding out what happened to a patient.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're working aged care, you know what's happened, because you're dealing with these people all the time. So yeah, I can see. Whilst it may be an exciting and different challenge to do A&E, I can understand why people wouldn't last there for very long.
Yeah, so we have this like demographic, definitely in the A&E that I was in, that people stay for like 2-3 years, and I learn a lot of people. Yeah, or you are like A&E through and through, and people never leave. So there's never like. Yeah, so you never seem to get someone who stays like 10 years, and then they get a promotion and they go somewhere else. That doesn't happen a lot. People do their time and go, or they stay, and they feel like they can't do anything but A&E. Some people hate ward work. They hate washing patients. They hate doing that side of nursing. They enjoy like let's pump your chest and give you drugs and send you on. It's just different people. And thank God there is different people, because otherwise we'd be screwed.
You don't have anyone working there at all. So.
But yeah.
I've seen the show Nurse Jackie.
Yes, I have.
That's similar at all?
Video problem.
In some respects, the dark humour, certainly, yeah. Well, wrong ends in A&E for sure. Still, I won't subject you to all of that. But yeah, some things, and obviously some things are like over exaggerated, it's like all different shows, like Scrubs. Not everyone's shagging everyone. That's not the way it works. We're too busy.
I was gonna say, nobody's fucking the pharmacist for the drugs.
No, man. Like, they try and make it so exciting. It's really not. Like, you're hiding the sluice to have a fart on a night shift, and that's about all you do. It's nothing.
Okay. Alright, I seem to have a problem. So hopefully they get back, or I get back, or whatever. I don't know if we're still streaming. Yeah, this might be my internet. Okay.
There she is.
Okay, we're back.
That's fine. We don't need her. Fuck her.
There she
I don't
is.
know what
Hey.
happened. YouTube's not receiving the stream though, but something weird happened my end.
Are we still on?
I don't know.
If you can hear us in chat,
Okay, it's got
can you
it.
tell us, please?
Okay, it's picked us back up, I think. Error, no. Close. It's buffering or something. I don't know if it's working or not. Alright, can people see us at all?
Or hear us? If you can hear us, can someone say something,
I might
please?
stop and start it.
What did you do, Jen? Jesus.
Windows. Hopefully it'll
And they
pick it
can
up.
hear all of us.
Yeah, there's a laggy thing, but hopefully it'll pick it up again.
Cool.
So.
Well, we didn't get to talk about Jesus.
Okay, so it's not. It's not. Yeah, I don't know why. Sorry, guys. I have no idea what's happening.
Well, you gotta show us our twink of the week.
Yeah, sure. Well, shall we wind up, because I've obviously got internet problems and it's going to cause major issues. So I'm sorry I had to stop OBS and restart it because of whatever was happening with the stream. And I actually lost connection with you guys with StreamYards, which was really annoying. So yes. So Donna. I know Dave's been shouting at your Twitter and the things, but
thanks, Dave. Pardon?
So shout yourself out, Donna. Just say
cool.
Go follow you on Twitter and everything. So
yeah, follow me on Twitter. I think it's Donna_TT2. Yeah, that's the only place I really am at the moment. So come talk to me.
And Amanda, what have you got happening?
I did my first live stream yesterday. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was almost 3 hours. So it was long, but everybody had fun. Kate from Critical Bitches stuff, we're Critical Bitches. Kate from Bionic came by. Sorry. And so we talked about some stuff, and we actually figured out a few new shows during that I'm going to start doing a show where every week I'm going to stream with someone and we're going to talk about a television show of their choosing.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is just think of some questions and just discuss it. Something light and fun to do, probably on the weekend or something. Talk about the shows, and Kate might do Babylon 5. Well, she hasn't decided yet. But I need somebody. I think I want my first show to be either Buffy or Angel. So anybody out there that feels like Buffy or Angel well enough and want to come on,
except Jen, she says, yeah, I've watched Buffy's. I own all the discs. I own all the series. I've read some of the books. I've watched all of Angel. Yeah, I have watched Buffy at least 4 times all the way through.
Okay. Then, you or someone else or whatever. I just thought there was another show you wanted to do.
No. No, don't do Buffy with me. Yeah, no, I'll do Doctor Who, or I'll do Babylon 5 with you. But yeah.
Okay, then somebody find me a Buffy fan that I can do this with, so I can do my first show. I'd like to start within the next couple weeks. So, but it'll be really light, and like I said, I'll just have a few questions.
Somebody in there who was in the chat last night who was a big Joss Whedon fan.
Joss, for the 5 billionth time. It's Joss.
It is.
Not
yes,
Josh.
It is.
You do that every time, you know that, right?
I do. Yeah, my internet's poop at the moment, so it's gonna be fun.
I don't remember. I'll have to look through. Well, anybody wants to hit me up on Twitter or whatever, let me know. That, and then there's also another show we're gonna do. Me and Vagrant Sam are setting up where we're just gonna play game every week, kind of like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity. So it's just gonna be atheists playing a game, like hanging out. It made me think of like Six Pack. Don, have you ever seen Atheist Pastor's Six Pack?
Yeah, definitely.
kind of like that, but with, where we just hang out and chat, but with structure, kind of. So me and Sam are setting that up. And me and Chris are working on Exodus. We had a rocky couple of weeks personally, the two of us. So we were going to start sooner, but we just both went through, he had some issues and I had some issues, and we just haven't gotten a time down yet, but it should come out real quick. And next week, I have another video coming out on my channel about climate change. And next week here, we're having Godless Engineer on.
We are.
So,
and that will be on Amanda's channel. Yeah. And for everyone, that will be the first
subscribe to my
pictures
channel.
on Amanda's channel. So subscribe to Amanda. We also tomorrow we're with Jay talking.
You need to pull up a Jesus meme.
Oh, I will in a sec. I actually made a video for it to end us out with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm organized this week. So yeah. We will also be with Jay tomorrow on Jay's channel doing Scientology after Jay's interview with GE. And I will be on and I can't remember what it's called, the women's show on the Shills on Sunday night US time, and I honestly cannot remember the name of the show, but I'm sure Dave will mention it in the chat because I've got a mental blank. And I should have a video out probably on Sunday night US time. So yeah.
Nice.
So that's where we're at. Now, I have an ending video for Sexy Twink Jesus, but for those who don't know about Sexy Twink Jesus, and I'm pretty sure everyone does now, do you want to explain it, Amanda?
Just got into a fight with someone on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, a month ago. It said, if you say something bad about Jesus Christ, I will throat punch you. So I said, Jesus is a twink, come at me, bitch. And hence the Sexy Jesus memes.
Yeah. And so I've got a video to end us out with today that's got a whole heap of Sexy Twink Jesuses. So I'll end with that, and it'll end the show for us. Stay tuned and watch that because there's some really good memes in there. And yeah, bye everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sorry that the end of the show's a bit down. I have no idea why my internet's playing up, but love you all, and we will see you in the next one over on Amanda's channel. Bye.
Yep. See you next week.
Bye.